Welcome back. Well, today, another exciting day. We got this little beauty in a parcel. It is a Hewlett Packard 5340 frequency counter, which I have one already for several years, 10 years maybe, but the transformer has died. I found that cheaply, unknown condition. I don't know if it works or not. I had a brief look inside and it didn't look bad, so we probably just plug it in and switch it on. Yeah, it's the first time actually, so no one knows what happens. No bang so far. That looks promising. Again, I basically just bought it for spares because it's got a kink here, and we'll see inside there is no option 001, which is the high precision Timebase, so I most likely take the transformer out and put it into my other one. So let's see what it does. It's reading something here. At least the self-check is working. Let's feed some signal in here. These counters usually suffer from a fried high frequency input. It doesn't like a lot of power. It's only 7 dBm maximum. There's a sticker here as well which says that, but some people don't care. Let's get some. That's 1 millivolt at 433 megahertz, and as you can see, you see nothing. I'm actually surprised. It seems to work. It just needs a relatively high input level. That's 250 millivolts now, and it seems to work. Which I didn't expect actually. So, as you can see, nice Nixie tubes here, but it doesn't make it bad just because it's got old technology. It's all full of TTLs, and yeah, it may take a little bit more power, but it's a fantastic counter. It goes up to 20 gigahertz. We will check that later. I can do up to 18, so that's 1 gigahertz. It's got some issues with that switch, but apart from that, it seems the PLL is locking here. I'm surprised. because the guy who sold it didn't know what he was selling here. God knows where he found that. It's actually an older unit than my one, and we'll look at the differences now. Generator off here. Power off. God. So as we can see here, this one has the standard Timebase, and also the transformer is missing for the heated Timebase, as opposed to here, darker, sorry. There is a transformer here which permanently feeds the Timebase with power to keep that warm. So the job will be replacing this transformer, because this has died. I did some repairs here already, so some of these PC boards and that rectifier and some of the capacitors. It's all calibrated and it locks very well, so I'd rather use this one instead of this one here. Let's get up some high frequency generator and we'll see what happens here. So as expected, the high frequency doesn't really work, as most of them don't. That's 18 gigahertz. There is something happening, but I think the pillow doesn't lock properly. I have a feeling I've seen that before. So it's okay on the lower range. There's nothing on the heterodyne part, so it's not locking, which can be either a simple fix by just adjusting it, or it can be really laborious if something is fried on the input. If I increase the level, it's just getting worse here. So then it's supposed to be 12 gigahertz, but it's not showing anything. Okay, let's check the lower frequency input, which is up to 250 megahertz. I think that's a direct count input, no prescaler, nothing. Socket has some issues here as well. They usually count well over 250, so maybe 250 and 200 millivolts. This should do it. Yep, that's working. So the counterpart itself is fine. I think it does well over 1075. That's Hewlett Packard, specified at 250, it's easily counting 275 at 200 millivolts. Get it down to 100. Still counting okay. Make it 290. Still 290, 300 might be still okay. Well, you get what you pay for. I think this device was probably about $5,000–6,000 in its days. Believed to be manufactured in 1973. at this time $5,000 was a lot of money. Shame that the high frequency part doesn't work, but at least we got some spare parts for the other one. It seems everything on the baseband counter is working, just the heterodyne part is not working, and I've been there before. It's a lot of work to get it right. There's many checkpoints and calibration points, but if it works, it's a really nice counter because you don't need to mess around with these harmonics as you normally do with this one here. Those you got the maybe I'm making a video about that as well. You actually dial the harmonics in and then you just adjust it, and it does the same, but it's manual. This one figures out the harmonic on its own, which is very clever, and it was certainly state of the art in its days. And I think it still is somehow, because it's just well designed. So I think that's it for now. Once we changed over the transformer to the other one and things like that, I may take another video of the whole range. Do a few more checks now to see what's actually usable of that one and where the problem lies. If I find something else, I'll probably put another video. Just checking the Timebase. That looks good to me. It's probably as best as you can get. That counter is supposed to be well calibrated. It's got the heat to Timebase optional 001, which is most of the time on actually. So, and I check that regularly, so I'm happy with that. Just a word to this one here. This is a simple Marconi signal source from 12 to 18 gigahertz. Not very accurate, but pretty stable actually. So I used them for checking, or if I need a signal up there, because the 2017 here does just 1024 megahertz, which is another fantastic piece of kit. A bit heavy, but it just does what it does, what you ask for, and I don't really want to miss it. I have it for 15 years now, and it never let me down actually. I think the only thing which died was one of these LEDs, which were replaced at some point. But yeah, very handy piece of kit. While we were messing around here, this is actually a similar one. That's a 2 to 4 gigahertz. I smelled some smoke, and apparently that Tantal died. So this is going to be another repair job, I believe. But that's the downside if you use old stuff. Sometimes there is smoke coming out. Nicely made. It's basically a cavity tuned oscillator. Looks like a odometer on a speedo, and it just dials it in. It's surprisingly accurate. Once you got it right, it does work quite okay. I have not used it for a while, and yeah, it just comes with age. I think they made in the 70s or so, 80s maybe. Yeah, nice piece of kit if it works, but apparently this one needs some work. Just verified if the signal generator really works, because I haven't used it for quite a while, and it's seen a house move and it's been moved by people who don't really care what it is. So we're dialed in 14.00 gigahertz, and if we look here, don't know if that's visible. Maybe not. That's center screen, and it says 14.27. I can live with that because either of the devices, either the spectrum analyzer or the generator, can be out. This is also a pretty vintage machine, but it proved to be quite reliable. It's an Altec 727, which I bought back in the 90s. It was old at this time, and it's even older now, but yeah, it does the job. If you can handle the analog storage display and live with the, let's say, shortfalls. There's no readout obviously, but for what I do, it's perfectly okay. And yeah, we just want to prove that the generator is actually working, and it does, so it seems to be the counter. Well, I have some good news. I pulled all the boards, pulled all the plugs, put it back, and apparently it was, maybe it was a switch, I don't know. I just wiggled the switches and pulled all the boards, put it back, and it is reading. If we look at the number, it's still on 14 gigahertz here. I was on 14.2-ish something on the spectrum analyzer. The spectrum analyzer is actually good. It's actually the generator which is out. Can live with that. They're not supposed to be accurate. It's actually synchronizing quite well. I don't know exactly the level, I'm going to check that later, but I'm on minimum here. So let's crank that up a little bit. Oh yeah. Okay. It's got some issues up here. It's just with a little, yeah, it needs a bit more level up there. Could well be the cable. It's not quite suitable for that frequency range, but so this is actually gigahertz. 16.9. That's probably as far as we get here. Yeah, it's got some synchronizing issues. There is some issues here. Maybe some boards need to be pulled in. Come on. Yeah. That's all we get. There you go. Okay, so you're going to pull those boards as well under the cover, and also check where the signal levels are. Yeah, it does work. I keep it as a spare. I already decided I'm going to repair my old one with the parts from this one. But it's good to know that the high frequency input works. Yeah, pretty happy so far. And even got the rack mount is here. But again, it's going to be a spare. So I'm not going to spend any more time on that. I know I got a good collection of spare parts, because everything here is quite tricky to set it up, and I've been through already with the other one, so I can't see the point of doing that. Alright, that's it for today.